Analog. Hi there, Perfecto de Castro here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. If you love analog pedals and would rather not use any digital fakery, this is the cure for your digital allergy. The Quilter DirectAmp. Here we go. Okay, greetings from Manila, Philippines. I am here at Spaceport Creative Spaces, Makati, Philippines. And during my stay here, I have been playing shows with this analog DI pedal board. This particular pedal board is a culmination of support from several companies. Quilter Amps, GC Rockboard, Walrus Audio, Soy La Musica Productions, Neunaber, and JCraft. So the centerpiece of this pedal board is the new Quilter DirectAmp. The DirectAmp is an all-analog DI solution. So if you are attached to your analog pedals and don't like the feel of digital amp modelers, this is the pedal for you. The controls are straightforward, just like on a regular amplifier. You get tone shaping, treble, middle, bass. You get a gain knob, you get a volume knob, you get a stereo effects return, and stereo XLR outs. And if you want to practice silently, there is also a headphone out. Now, this pedal board was built by my friend Dominic of Soy La Musica Productions. Soy La Musica is a pedal board building service that ensures that your pedal board is correctly built, noise-free, and very, very stable. The pedal board is powered by the Walrus Audio Canvas Power. This is the 5-output version, and everything is wired very neatly underneath the pedal board. In fact, I like looking at the underside of this pedal board more than the top side. It's very, very clean. And the pedal board itself is the brand new Kirk Mini from GC Rockboard. GC Rockboard is a longtime partner of my channel, having sent me pedal boards from since 2017. In fact, the pedal board I used on tour with Arnel Pineda was a GC Rockboard, and it's still going strong back in the US. So the Kirk has a new layout for the pedal board rails, which makes it easy to run your cables without snagging into, issues. Again, big thanks to all the companies involved. I will have all their links in the video description. So please check it out. Help us keep making these videos for everybody to enjoy. For majority of my shows here in the Philippines, I have been using this exact analog pedal board build. So I've been going direct to front of house using the XLR outs, and I had the headphone out wired to this 1/4-inch output on the side of my GC Rockboard Kirk. And this goes into the effects return or power amp input of whatever amp I have in the venue. So I've been using 3 sources for my guitar. The XLR DI stereo out of the DirectAmp, as well as a mic'd cabinet on stage. That way, all the frequencies are filled. And to hear how that sounds, here are a few of the live clips taken from the shows. Enjoy. Okay, so let's check out some tones. The centerpiece that makes this analog pedal board work is the Quilter DirectAmp. So this one unit right here houses my amp controls, my cabinet simulation, my onboard reverb, effects loop, limiter, and even a gain boost. So for the bulk of my gigs here in the Philippines, I was staying in the Fender amp model. And this is how that sounds. Now, for the most part, I stayed in the Fender amp model to give a nice, bold tone to the guitar. However, in some jam situations where I was playing with other guitar players, 4 of us on stage, I switched to the JMP amp model to give it a little more cut. Now, of course, with the JMP amp model having a little more gain, the noise floor is raised somewhat. So that is what you're hearing right now. Now, another level of control lies in the speaker type. So since I was in the Fender amp model earlier, I was using the appropriate speaker style, which is the Jens or Jensen. And as you toggle up the switches, you go to V30 and then CL80. Those are varying degrees of warmth. So Jensen is the brightest. V30, somewhat less brighter. More mids introduced. And then CL80 is the darkest version. So if you're to use the JMP amp model, you'll want to either use the CL80 or the V30. And if you need more tonal variety, you can also play around with the cab type. Predominantly, I was using the closed cab option because I want a little more low-end girth to the tone. But if you want to control your low end, there's also the open back option. Open back with the Jensen speaker and the Fender amp type gives you a very, very nice clean tone. Now, so far, you've been hearing only the DirectAmp. I haven't engaged any of the other pedals. So this nice stereo reverb is on board the DirectAmp. And if you want your clean sound to pop, you can always engage the onboard limiter as well. And finally, we go into the boost option. So the boost option allows you to throw in a gain pedal in front of the DirectAmp. So we have 3 options. Flat, which is just a straight up clean boost, overdriving the input of the amp model. Okay, and then we have bright. And we have a fat boost. Now, turning up the boost gain pretty much brings you into distortion territory. So I'm going to turn down the boost output, turn up the gain, and let's see what we get. Now, if you want to tame the high end, let's go into the closed back option and either the V30 or the CL80. There you go. So this essentially turns the DirectAmp into a 2-channel analog DI amp. And if you want more teeth, you can go into the JMP amp model. Now, I want to show you one more thing about the DirectAmp before we go to the other pedals, and that is this wireless input switch via Bluetooth. Now, this is very handy because you can pair your phone or your laptop or whatever Bluetooth device, stream your backing tracks to the DirectAmp, and everything will go out through the XLR outputs into the PA. This makes it handy for solo acts playing to backing tracks for busking or for performance, or if you just want to practice the tunes at home, you can use this function and monitor yourself through the headphone out. And this is the setup I used for my workshop in Bacolod. Now let me show you the rest of the pedals on this mostly analog board. Now since I'm using the DirectAmp as my pedal platform, I'm using this pedal right here as my main distortion. This is the DBD, which is my upcoming signature pedal. So one side is a distortion circuit based on the Boss SD2, and the second side is a boost or delay circuit. This switch right here lets you select whether to use this side as delay only or boost and delay at the same time. Okay, so let's hear the DBD. Drive side. Again, I'll remind you that you are hearing the tones straight out of the XLR outs of the DirectAmp. So All you're hearing are the analog cab sims, analog amp sims, no digital IR fakery. And the main attraction of this setup is the tactile feel, which is very immediate. There's no digital latency whatsoever. Now, since the DBD is going into the front of the DirectAmp, the analog delay is also going to the front. So I have it tweaked accordingly. Now, I didn't use it for these gigs, but I also have the option to apply a up to 21 dB boost. So, this is the neat part about the DirectAmp. You can drive it almost like a tube amp. So if you boost your input, it breaks up quite nicely. Now with boost and delay at the same time. So the DBD will be launching soon. This is a collaboration between myself and JCraft in the Philippines. So stay tuned for that. Okay, next in the chain is this Walrus Audio Monument, Volume 1, which I'm using as a harmonic tremolo. It just adds a nice movement to my ambient clean sound. So if I turn on the delay, and my ambient reverb. Now the DBD and the Walrus Audio Monument goes into the front of the DirectAmp. And for the rest of the pedals, these are in the effects loop. So from the effects end, it goes into this yellow pedal right here, which is actually a very good buffered clean boost, up to 25 dB. This is made by Musentech, and it has a very comedic name. This is the shit power. So basically, I can kick shit up to 11 if I want to. And here is how that sounds. So it actually keeps your tone intact with a little bit of buffering just to give it a little more sparkle. But it does the job to lift the guitar tone up for solos and such. Now, one thing I need to mention is that unity gain is with the knob all the way down. So all the way down, there's really nothing going on. And as soon as you turn the knob up, you get a lot of volume lift. For the most part, the highest I've gone with the shit power is maybe around 11 o'clock. And that already is like, a lot of volume. My setting is pretty much around 8 o'clock or so. Now, I did mention that this board is mostly analog, though I do have one digital pedal. And the main reason for that is because of the effects loop, which operates at line level. A lot of analog pedals can't handle that line level signal. So instead of trying to find solutions to run my analog pedals in the effects loop, I just decided to go digital with the Illumine reverb from our friends at Neunaber. The Illumine is a very, very nice ambient reverb that just adds to the guitar tone. In fact, every time I turn the Illumine on, it just adds so much to the guitar tone, and I do not get lost in, a sea of ambience. And the best part is that I get to exploit the stereo-ness of the Illumine with the DirectAmp's stereo effects return. So all in all, I think this has been a successful analog pedal board build. So analog lovers rejoice. There is now a direct to front of house solution for all of you guys. As I mentioned, the most immediate benefit of an all analog signal path is the lack of digital latency. If you're used to the old school setup, that digital latency is a little disconcerting, the first time you plug into a multi-effect. And if that is something that you can't compromise on, then the DirectAmp will allow you to run your analog pedal board setup to front of house for silent stages and for a more, easier setup solution for live gigs. Once again, big thanks to all the companies involved: Quilter Amps, Neunaber, JCraft, Walrus Audio, GC Rockboard, and Soy La Musica Productions for helping me build this mostly analog pedal board. And again, all the relevant links, affiliate or otherwise, will be in the video description. So please use these links to go gear shopping and help us make more videos like this for everybody. And also, big thanks to Spaceport for allowing me to film all these videos here in their beautiful creative space. If you need to create the best content that you can with a wonderful team backing you up, then Spaceport is your only choice here in Makati, Philippines. Go check them out. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this next video, so click on it to watch, then go grab your guitar and play something. You all know the drill. Practice makes perfecto. Cheers, guys.